Hi everyone, my name is Paula Isabel A. Bueno, and today I'll do my science PPA activity about weather disturbance. So our first PPA today is about cyclones. So now we're going to know about how do you know that a storm is coming in our way. So let's start. So the materials that we will need are water, a basin, baby powder, and a stick. So the first step is we have to fill the basin with water. So the next step is we have to put some baby powder on the water. The baby powder on top of the water, most of the baby powder falls down on the bottom of the basin and it looks like it's falling down like rain. The next step is I have to place a stick at the center of the basin and move the water counterclockwise. It's starting to move a bit. During my observations, when I was steering, I noticed that below, in the surface, it wasn't really moving that much, but when I checked below, the water was moving like in a counterclockwise and in a clockwise. A tropical cyclone is a low pressure area that forms in the tropics over the seas and ocean. So there are so the cyclone is called, it could be called a hurricane or a typhoon. So now, how do tropical cyclones develop? So a cyclone can form when the water is warmer than the surrounding area. So the area surrounding the water is actually less than 26 degrees Celsius, and the water is higher than 26 degrees Celsius. So the warm, moist air above rises, creating a low pressure area. So the wind from the surrounding area spirals counterclockwise due to the Coriolis effect in the northern hemisphere as it flows into the low pressure area, while the wind moves clockwise in the southern hemisphere. The rising warm, moist air at the center expands. So the rising moist air cools and causes condensation of the moisture in the air, releasing large amounts of heat. The warm air that rises in this area is called the eye. So the center of a typhoon is called the eye. So the eye is the most strongest part of a typhoon. So there is a thing that surrounds the eye, which is called an eye wall. So now I'm going to do my second PPA activity about thunderstorms. So now we're going to know about how is a thunderstorm formed. So the materials that we will need are a transparent container, red food coloring, blue ice cubes. It must be prepared using a blue food coloring, and some water. So the first step is I'll have to fill the half part of the transparent container with warm water. So the second step is I'll have to put the blue ice cube at one side of the transparent container. Next step is I'll have to gently put the 4 drops of red food coloring into the water at the other side of the transparent container. The blue ice represents cold air falling, and the red food coloring represents warm air rising. So this is called convection. So convection is like warm air rising and cold air falling. So this is what makes the air unstable, which also causes thunderstorms. So now this is my last activity about weather disturbance, and it's about tornadoes. So what we're going to know today is what causes a tornado. Materials that we need are 2 plastic bottles, some water, a connector for the 2 bottles, blue food coloring, dish soap, and that's it. So let's start. So the first step is we'll have to be using 2 soft drink bottles and a rubber connector. Fill 1 bottle with water and add a few drops of food coloring and some dish soap. We'll have to connect the 2 bottles and swirl them vigorously. Like that one, Mommy. Yeah, that's how we did it. What happened right now is called a tornado. So the tornado is the most violent storm that can occur on Earth. A tornado is a funnel-like shape or rope-shaped cloud with a diameter less than 400 meters. So when the wind is moving and swirling in motion, the tornado reaches a speed and velocity of 650 kilometers per hour. As the tornado reaches the ground, it acts like a huge vacuum that anything in contact with it, like cars, trees, buildings, it will suck it all up. So after that, it moves across a land at about 40 to 65 kilometers per hour towards the northeast. The air in the tornado is made visible by dust and debris drawn into the swirl column or by the condensation of water vapor into a visible cloud. So tornadoes only last a few minutes, but they can be very destructive.